Hello, good afternoon. This is David Soto talking to you, and today is my weekly trade predictions for the upcoming trading week of January 11 through January 15, 2020. Okay, and what I'm going to do here is I will look at all the major forex currency pairs just on a 30-minute time frame. Okay, just so we can see what happened this past week. Okay, and then I will compare that to higher time frames such as the 4-hour, daily, and weekly charts. And then I will try to give you my analysis of what I think is going to happen this coming week. Okay, so to start with, this last Friday was the non-farm payroll. Okay, and the market was very slow. We're just coming out of a new year, so it takes time for the market to readjust and get back into this swing of things, so to say. So, but this non-farm payroll did have a bit of good news for the U.S. dollar, and I feel that the U.S. dollar is now starting to make a rebound. And we should see the U.S. dollar continue to rise up slowly at a very slow rate, but it will have a lot of ups and downs. But overall, it's going to start making its way back up. Okay, so to begin with here, we want to look at EURUSD, which I have on the chart right here. And with EURUSD, we see mostly a flat ranging market. Okay, the price ended just slightly lower than where it began, but we are at a pretty strong level of support, and it should be going up. Now the thing is, if the US dollar is going to go up, the euro will be going down. Okay, so that's kind of interesting. So we see right here that the price already dropped, but at this very present moment it is starting to go back up. So the question is, will it be going up this week, or will it continue dropping? Okay, it should be going down, if the US dollar goes up. So let's look at the 4-hour chart and compare real quick. Okay, now the 4-hour chart here shows that yes, it is already starting to go down. Okay, so as you can see, on Friday it dropped and came back up. So this means that in the beginning of the week, we'll probably see the price escalate some, but then towards the middle of the week it's going to drop back down. Okay, so that's my best guess. If we look at the daily chart, we see yes, it is already starting to go into a downtrend. So long term it will be going down. So if you want to sell now and hold it long term, you could definitely do that. Okay, the weekly chart as well, and as you see right here, this is a fresh signal. So meaning in the coming weeks this will be dropping. Okay, it's just going to take some time. All right, now moving on to GBPUSD, Great British Pound versus US dollar. We see almost similar thing. The price here, ended about where it began, and for the greater part of the week, we had a flat ranging, tight ranging market here. Okay, some good highs and lows. Okay, you definitely can make some profit here and there, but overall, this is not really a good period of trade this past week, just because it's kind of unpredictable right now. Okay, it looked like it's dropping here, it went back up. So as we see right now, it's definitely getting ready to drop. Okay, at least according to the 30-minute chart. Now if we go to a 4-hour chart, let's see what we see here. Now we see on the 4-hour chart we have a strong signal to sell, and it should be dropping. All right, we also see here that we had a red arrow followed by another red arrow. So what does that mean? Well, it is not very common to see 2 arrows of the same color in a row, but when that happens, the 3rd arrow is almost always the opposite color. Okay, so meaning the next arrow should be a blue arrow. All right, so I feel very strong that this will be dropping. Okay, now when we see the price dropped here and then formed a strong level of support here, and it's kind of up and down. Next step is to break that support and drop more. So it might go back up a little bit in the beginning of the week, but I'm guaranteed by the middle of the week it's going to drop more. Okay, that is pretty much a certainty with this GBPUSD. So if we look at the daily chart as well, I just want to compare real quick, and the weekly chart as well. So just like EURUSD, this will be dropping long term over the next few weeks. Okay, so be prepared to sell the GBPUSD. Okay, looking at AUDUSD, Australian dollar versus the US dollar. Okay, Now this one actually escalated up some, and then for the remainder of the week, it formed a flat range of market. Okay, so from about Wednesday on, it was just moving sideways here, but it did start to drop some. So I feel that this probably will be dropping, since the previous two were dropping. This one should be dropping also. Now let's look at the 4-hour chart. If we look here on the 4-hour chart, we see a very similar thing again, right? The price dropped here, went back up, and dropped again. So we keep hitting that same level of support right in here. Okay? So the 4-hour chart is showing to sell. So long term is going to sell. So in the beginning of the week, it might go up a little bit more, but by the middle of the week, it should break that support, and keep dropping more. That is what I feel is going to happen. So you definitely want to be prepared to sell the AUDUSD. Okay, you probably could place a sell trade now and just hold it long term. All right, moving on to USDCHF. Okay, now like I said in the beginning, US dollar is starting to make a rebound and starting to go back up. Okay, and we see the price here ended slightly higher than where it began, so that's a good sign. And we see the price right here is already starting to slowly go up. Okay, now according to the 30-minute chart, we have a signal to sell, and it came down a little bit, went back up, and for all intents and purposes, this is just riding sideways right now. Okay, it's in a tight range of market right now, which is good. Okay, and this might repaint and go up, it might drop, I don't know. I think we'll probably more or less see a range of market this week. But let's look at the 4-hour chart and compare real. On the 4-hour chart here, we see that yes, this is definitely starting to go into an uptrend. Okay, like I said, right now it's kind of riding sideways, and it will probably do that in the beginning of the week. Okay, what I think is going to happen is the price will probably dip back down some in the beginning of the week, and then around Wednesday we see the price spike back up and break this resistance and go higher. Okay, that is what I feel will happen. Now this is not going to be a huge shot up. It's just going to be a slow, steady climb uphill. All right. If we look at the daily chart, we see the same thing. Okay, we're just now starting to go into an uptrend finally. Okay, we also see again we have a blue arrow followed by another blue arrow, which is a good sign that this will be going up. Okay, so the next arrow should be a red arrow, and that's going to take quite a while before that red arrow forms. On the daily chart, it might take another month or two. Okay, so we're not looking for this to shoot up anytime soon. Okay, it's going to be a long process. And moving on to USDJPY. Okay, again we see the price already starting to go up, and then right here at the end of the week we had a flat range of market, which is perfectly fine. Okay, and in the beginning of the week, like I said, the price might drop a little bit and then shoot back up even higher. That's what I feel will happen. So you definitely want to get ready to buy the USDJPY. If we look at the 4-hour chart, okay, now this is a little bit interesting because we have a price here starting to go up, and then we hit a red arrow, which means that it should be going down, right? But it's not really going down, at least not at this present moment. So what we're going to see is probably the price is going to go down in the beginning of the week, and then by the middle of the week it's going to spike back up even higher. If you look at the daily chart, again we already see this going into a nice uptrend. So if we see the price come down some in the beginning of the week, and then towards the end of the week we'll see the price escalate higher. Okay, if you look at the weekly chart, we see the same thing. Now this weekly chart is a little different than the other one we saw, but this one had been shown to go up for quite some time, and we had this steady downtrend, and now we're starting to rebound and come back up. Now let's look, finally we're going to look at USDCAD, okay, US dollar versus the Canadian dollar. And this is always kind of interesting because these two are both in North America, and these two follow the same kind of trends, and they're both very strong currencies. Okay, so they're both fighting to go up right now, okay, which put this in a gridlock, as you can see right here. Okay, the price ended right here, basically the exact same place where it began. but the price should go up, go down, go back up. So as it stands right now, it's in a tight range of market, and probably will continue for at least the first half of the week. Okay, I'm thinking by Wednesday we should see the price escalate higher. Okay, I don't know, I really don't know, but if we look here in the 4-hour chart, we see that it's already starting to go into an uptrend. So for the moment, we're going to see this moving sideways like this. Okay, but eventually this price is going to go higher. If you look at the daily chart, okay, the daily chart, we see that it's already starting to go into an uptrend. Now this is very fresh, so it's going to be a long process for this to go up. Okay, and again we see a blue arrow here followed by another blue arrow, which means the next one will most certainly be a red arrow. Okay, I do not foresee this dropping more, so that's a good sign. And if we look at the weekly chart, we see we have a fresh buy signal also on the weekly chart. So again, this is pretty fresh, so it's going to be a long process, but you definitely want to look to buy. I would just scalp it for, you know, small profits. Okay, I would buy only if you put your charts in like a 30-minute, even 15-minute time frame and get buy signals. That's all you're looking for. Okay, because you know we want to go with the bigger trend. All right. So anyhow, that will conclude my weekly trade predictions for the week. If you have any questions or comments about these predictions, or if you need me to analyze another currency pair that is not spoken here, please hit me up on Facebook. There is a link below in the description of this video for my personal Facebook. You can contact me there first. Also, there is a link for my private Facebook group in which you can request to join my Facebook group and post any questions or comments in my Facebook group. So this way, myself or other traders, we can all assist you and collaborate as a team. Okay, that's my whole purpose of having a Facebook group. So with that said, I look forward to helping you. Thank you and have a wonderful week ahead.